the police gather as much evidence as they can. Detectives get called on the scene, stuff like that. You know, the crime scene technicians, depend upon who you rely on to get your crime scene evidence. They come and grab the, you know, evidence that's needed. And then the state's attorney somewhere along the lines is called in. In Cook County, it's a process called felony review. And so the state's attorney actually has to come out. So there was a memo that came out during the time that I was a detective. There are some cases where you can call felony review over the phone and get felony approval with the felony approval number, you know, but then for cases, especially like these homicides, the state's attorney has to actually come out, look at the evidence, view the stuff, interview witnesses, lock people in the statements and the testimonies, all that stuff. And so when I looked at this video, the stabbing video right here, let's let it play. Matter of fact, I don't even know. I probably don't have it. All right, let me put it on the screen real quick so we can all see it. When I begin to look at this video, you know, we're talking about mutual combat. Do these look like the actions? Granted, this is the gentleman, this is the young man that had the knife. And we just talked about that in our last live, didn't we? We just talked about, you know, having knives and the knives being hidden behind the fist. So, you know, he might have not have known that he had a knife or might have seen it. Who knows? But if he is the quote unquote victim being bullied, you know, we don't want to advocate not defending yourself if you have the means and ability to. But let's look at this. And I know I'm going to get some disagreeing opinions, but let's look at this, though.
September 27th, the result of this confrontation with a 7.
So when you look at his actions walking up, does that look to be actions of somebody who's in mutual combat or somebody who's defending themselves and acting like a victim?
So here's the disadvantage of all things. We're looking at a video.
Right. Fair enough.
So from what I heard in the interview, they said that there was a history between these two boys.
Right.
So remember we talked about last week, what are the 4 things you need for an act of self-defense involving the use of threat of physical force or violence?
You want to say history.
So number 1, who was the innocent party?
It's alleged that the young man who was killed was the innocent party. He had been bullied and things of that nature. Now, here's this. On that caveat, has there been reports made to police? You see what I'm saying? That's the thing right there. You know, I get it that we get so much of the fuck 12, fuck the police. Got it. People have their reasons for that. Got it. But what you don't understand is when you're seeking justice from the justice system, there might have been a history, but what can be proven? No one gets convicted for what actually happened. You get convicted of that crime based upon the case that the prosecution can put on and what the triers of fact determine to be fact or fiction, believable or not, real or not, reasonable or unreasonable. And if they don't have a documented history, it could exist, but who knows about it?
So the next thing is, was there a means of escape?
Yes.
So there was a means of escape.
Yeah.
There was no need for that young man to still be there trying to fight. Once you got that first cut, you could have easily
disengaged.
You could have disengaged. You could have LIG'd it, let it go.
Right.
Now, the next thing is, was this dude an immediate threat? Technically, yes. Yes. So I say technically yes, because we're not seeing where it started.
I agree.
We're seeing the conflict. We're not seeing where it started. And that's the part that always pisses me off about all videos, is that you're getting a perspective, not the truth, not a lie, but you're getting a perspective.
And of
course, last but not least, you know, where was the mama? Where's this fight taking place at?
like in the driveway of the house. That's what it looks like.
So it's scary in my mind how you get stabbed, and not one time do you think about running away or getting help. You really want to fight this person that bad. And I'm trying to understand, are we sure that the person with the knife was not the person being bullied?
And,
are we sure?
And that's it. Frank said it best. We don't know what happened before the video, but we also don't know what happened at school either. You got him saying that he was being bullied, but how many of you all have had children who have lied, said it was one thing when in fact it was something else? And so how do we look at this video? Play it again.
Cortez was stabbed to death September 27th, the result of this confrontation with a 17.
You see what I'm saying? Those actions right there do not look like actions of a person who, even if he was being bullied, those don't look like the actions of someone who's trying to retreat. Those look like the actions of someone who's trying to advance. And I think you said that too, Jacob, some time ago, is that taking advanced steps towards a person who you consider to be a threat, you're going to have to explain that because it makes it seem as though it's mutual combat.
Absolutely. But see, then there's the other aspect of, you know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe his mom, father, auntie, whatever the case may be, if he went and disclosed, obviously he's being bullied and this, that, and the other, and they don't have any faith in the justice system. So obviously they didn't say nothing. But if they looked at him and said, you need to stand up for your fucking self.
Parents do that too.
Yep.
That could have been an underplay for the overplay, though.
Including me, you know what I mean, have told our children, you need to stand up for yourself.
Yeah. And when you look
at the children don't understand the difference of that or what all that entails, then all of a sudden now the bullies are sitting in front of them. And we talked about, obviously, in the midst of chaos, different chemicals dump in your brain, also known as chemical cocktail dump.
Right.
And all of a sudden you got tunnel vision. Maybe he didn't even see the knife. I mean, again, we got thousands of variables. Thousands of variables here.
But here's this
that we can ever recreate.
Here's this. I want to say this, and then Markis, come on in. You know, I say this all the time that you need to analyze your slot before you decide to get in anything. Yourself, the subject, you know, the law that justifies your actions and criminalizes his, the location where you are, what obstacles are in the area, tools, tactics, and time. You know you don't have any tools on you but just your hands. This person can have stuff that you don't know, but you need to be sure about what you have and what you don't have. Yes, he got a knife, but you know you don't. And I guess this could be his house. We don't know if this is his house or not, but you've got a way to escape. There was an open garage to the right of both of them. Go ahead, Markis.